How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to some more Danganronpa, another Despair Academy. It's time. It is time. It's a little too loud as well. Yep, welcome to the 4th class trial. My boy Haru was found dead, and now we need to see who exactly did it. There's not a lot to go on in this case. I am still sort of convinced I know who did it. I'm not trying to Gigantamax my brain for this though. So I'm just gonna let the trial play itself. If I'm right though, I'm right, and I don't know, man. This trial, God, I don't know what to think of it. I do know that chapter 4 has a tendency to be a little sad, so so far it's been sad, yeah. It's been very, very, very sad so far. The whole funhouse-like setup with the ballroom, no food, dude, the infighting, it's so fucking bad. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know, honestly. I don't know. Also, just a heads up, I'm having a little bit of an allergy day. It's not as bad as last time, but it is probably gonna let me like pause every now and then and have some cuts in the video. Just don't worry about it, I'm fine. Just, you know how it is. Anyway, let's just start. We have a long session ahead of us, boys. Let's go. Oh, also, before I do, I completely forgot to do this. That should do it. Sorry, I was just making sure that everything was going on correctly, and it is. Let's go. Oh, dude. Hell yeah, I feel this. Anyway, let's check our truth bullet. So we have the Monokuma file. We know that his right hand is completely fucking messed up. Yeah, there's a gunshot chest wound. Oh dude, the right hand is so fucking, oh god. The scattered guns, the unnatural bloodstains, the severed fingers away from the body, the destroyed gun, the flash and smoke grenades with that triggered once we opened the door, the wood plank that was used to block it, the corner gun. Oh yeah, Teruya was acting strange and we didn't see him afterwards. The letter in the room, Mikako's testimony, and Tsurugi's testimony. Okay. Let's save again. I don't know why, but let's save again. Let's go! Oh god, I'm not ready for this. Trial in session. Also, to give you guys some context, this is like last night I was up until a little too late watching a premiere of a video. Some of you might know what it is, the 5th anniversary of Your Turn to Die, a video made by Gego Kev. You guys should totally check it out. It's absolutely insane, the video. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. You guys should absolutely check it out if you haven't already. It's fucking nuts, actually. So, yeah, it was kind of an emotional video overall, and I'm not ready for this today, which is why I'm recording it today. Let's fucking go. First, let's start with a brief explanation of the class trial. The outcome of the class trial is decided by your votes. If you point out the blackened, only they will be punished, but in case you point out the wrong person, you know how this shit works, right? Let's just go. This narration was made by Zephy. Yep, go give your support to Zephyrim. As always, their channel will be in the description below as well. It finally started, the 4th class trial. One of us is the culprit that killed Haruhiko. We must find the culprit at all costs. Now then, please begin your discussion! Guys? Right, yeah. Should we start discussing? Nobody has anything to say, do they? Okay, we have to work hard. So, where do we start with? this stuffy, awkward mood. Well, it's not unreasonable because our conflict reached its peak. First, I think each of you will have a lot of things to say before the trial, and the feelings that you're feeling will be different. But now let's focus on the trial in front of you, aside from everything else. Just like we did before so far, haven't we? Kinjo? As Kinjo said, now it's the trial. Let's swallow what we want to say to each other for a moment, because survival is our priority now. I do have to hand it to Kinjo. Whenever he focuses on the trial, he's actually pretty enjoyable. Just this time. You don't take that for granted, do you? Let's get started already. Let's begin. Once we get the case sorted out, let's organize a series of events in chronological order based on what each knows. Hey, wait a minute. Before that, I have something to say. Just for a minute, please. What is it, Aranami? I'm the killer. Huh? Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, I completely understand what's happening here. I swear to God. Huh? Satsuki-chan? What did you say just now? I said I'm the killer. I'm the culprit who killed Haruhiko Kamashikawa. Don't play around here, Anami. What are you saying all of a sudden? It's not a joke. Are you serious? Don't make me laugh. Do you think that if you claim to be the criminal without physical evidence or logic, he'll become the culprit? But I really killed Haruhiko. What the fuck? So that's how we're starting? A confession? Oh my god. This is giving me like Chapter 4 Kokichi vibes, but not really. I think you guys know what I'm saying, for those of you who've watched or played V3. You can't be! Stop making bad jokes, Satsuki-chan! You should explain one step at a time. If we're listening and we're convinced, then we can really believe that you're the culprit. Suddenly, what is all this? Just as the trial began, she said she was the culprit. If it were a normal culprit, they would never confess. But would Satsuki really be the culprit? Before making any judgments, let's first listen to Satsuki's story. Oh, that's a nice remix. I do know how to do this. I did forget how to do the grab of the bullet. But maybe it won't be needed. Well, that's a strong start to the trial. That's a really strong start to the trial. Holy shit. Okay, lighter in the room, flash and smoke grenades, gunshot, chest wound. Okay. Don Kawazin call. Oh, there we go. Well, that was easy. Just shot him in self-defense. Satsuki, come on. Why do I only have 4 hearts? What the fuck? Satsuki really is the culprit. It means that the victim, Haruhiko himself, called the culprit. Alright, sorry. Had to wipe my nose. Let's go. If Satsuki really is the culprit, it means that the victim, Haruhiko himself, called her. But isn't that a little weird? Haruhiko was actually the one who was called. That clue proves it. But why do I only have 4 hearts? I don't remember this. Alright, let's go. No, that is wrong. I'm probably just misremembering, honestly. I always start with 4 hearts, right? Probably. Wait, Satsuki, Haruhiko called you? Isn't that odd? Is it weird? The victim, Haruhiko, called you. The culprit. That can't be it. Rather, the victim, Haruhiko, was called by the culprit and went to the arsenal. If you were the culprit, you would know. You are saying he was called by the killer? I don't know. That's ridiculous. The letter that was put in Haruhiko's room is what he's talking about. The contents are like this. To Haruhiko, I have something to tell you. If you read this, why don't you come to the arsenal? I'm not trying to kill you. I hope you believe me. I'll wait. Whoa! If the contents of that letter are true, it makes no sense that Kawashikawa called Satsuki-chan and took her to the arsenal, right? It would be the opposite! That's right. But Satsuki said that she doesn't know much about this letter. The killer doesn't know the letter they sent? No, it doesn't make sense. I don't know. What if it was manipulation? Yuki and Tsurugi wrote that letter that I didn't know, and you're manipulating things now. Don't be a thickhead. Obviously, this evidence came from Haruhiko's room. So Uranami's not the culprit? Wrong! I really mean it. I'm the real culprit. Just looking at the current evidence, to say that Satsuki's the culprit, it's hard to tell, but I want to make things a little more clear. Let's ask about it. Haruhiko's other wound, whose source is unknown to the evidence, that only the culprit, only they must know. The hand? It has to be it, right? Yeah. Satsuki, if you're really the culprit, there's one thing I want you to tell me. This isn't like the letter, but a direct clue to Haruhiko's body. So if you're the culprit, it's a clue that you must know. What's that? Haruhiko's right hand, you recall? His right hand was completely shattered. It's hard to say that this was a gunshot wound. If you're the culprit, can you tell me the true nature of this wound? She can't. I don't know. Why did he say— Oh, what the fuck happened? The game tabbed out for like a split second. What the shit? That was weird. Sorry, guys. I don't know. Why did his hand become that way? You don't have to talk anymore. You're not the culprit. Wait a second. I'm telling the truth. Are you still claiming to be the killer? If it's real, even if Uranami is the culprit, you'll only get executed. I don't know what you're thinking, but this is not a joke. If you unnecessarily confuse your reasoning and we choose the wrong killer, we will all die. Maybe. That might have been the purpose. What? She was close to Haruhiko Kawashikawa, who died this time, right? Apparently, it looks like she was in severe shock, unlike the usual one who always talks at random. With that shock in mind, you are trying to make us follow Haruhiko Kawashikawa's fate. Isn't that right? That was it? Absolutely not. Of course, I'm really sad that Haru died, but I'm very much sane. Man, oh, this trial is setting up some heavy shit. I don't like it. Stop it, Uranami. We haven't even started a proper discussion yet. If the discussion goes on, the killer will naturally be revealed. If you are really the killer, you don't have to rush things. It'll all turn out okay. Satsuki-chan. Oh, alright then. Let's discuss about it. Has it been roughly organized? You wasted my time on useless things. So let's start from the beginning again, when the case started to happen. Hold on a minute. Is it okay to wait 1 minute before that? In this case, can we assume that Uranami isn't completely the culprit? No, not necessarily. If Uranami is really the culprit, there's still a possibility there. That's it? We haven't started any reasoning yet. First, there's the possibility from what happened a little while ago, but maybe there's something up. In that way, they were excluding themselves from the suspect line. That had to be calculated. With Uranami's mind, it would be impossible to tell, though. Hey, you're treating me as a fool now? I don't think it was on purpose. Quiet. First, as Kinjo says, let's summarize the unfolding of this case. Dude, Mikako has been having less and less patience lately. I wonder what's been happening. And if what's implied is true, she's probably very, very sick. Oh, right. Where can we start from the evening before the incident happened? Oh, that was when we Maeda-kun, Kobashi-kun, Otori-kun, and Satsuki-chan, Mikako-chan, and me. Us 6 gathered in the restaurant. Maeda-kun called us and... At the time, we were at the limit of our hunger, and we all thought to come together and meet each other in the thought that we should somehow unfold a hard policy. At that time, Teruya suggested... I'll tell you, I was really sane back then. That's what happened. It was my fault for being immature. What's this? I didn't even see your faces the day before the murder took place. I don't know this, so please explain exactly what's going on. Teruya gave us a pen and paper to nominate one victim and one culprit. He asked for one person to vote. Since Monokuma banned suicide... Where's my... Oh, I placed it in my other pockets. I'm stupid. My napkin! Or... Yeah, my napkin. Yes, yeah, since Monokuma banned suicide, it was a plan to set up the case at the expense of 2 people. That was really crazy. I'm so sorry. It's alright, it's all over now. We almost agreed to this plan too. Looks like the part I saw from before. I broke into the restaurant because the absurd plan was about to be implemented. Yeah, Kinjo-kun came in and handed out guns to each of us. It's to commit suicide. What? Oh, no, nothing at all. Keep going. Well, that's when we started to fight back at Kinjo. And then we were lucky enough to catch him and he was just to be dangerous, so he couldn't move anymore. Oh man, I gotta agree. I gotta agree. Ray's reaction is pretty accurate. Oh my, sorry. I'm so uneducated today. Continue. So Hiyori? I'm sorry. The problem starts after this. Thanks to Kinjo, the plan was halted, but there was no progress for the day. We locked Kinjo in the room and then went back to each room. Between this morning, Haruhiko died. I couldn't sleep all night, so I was staying with my eyes open, but I heard something outside in the morning, so I went out and Maeda was asking for help, saying that the door was not opening. And when you somehow opened the door, you found the body? Yeah, that's right. This case is missing our eyes between the dawn hours, and there is not much evidence, so we have no choice but to share information we know with each other. First, a few alibis can be established just by hearing this. Alibis? Yeah, so then let's dig into the alibis one by one, alright? I'm still not over the fact that Satsuki basically confessed. I have a feeling that's gonna come back to bite us in the ass later. Alright, let's establish alibis. The most important part of every tile, floor tile. The floor here is made out of floor. Oh, that's 4. Okay, that's 4 bullets. Natural blood stains, severed fingers, destroy gun. I think it's gonna be the testimony though. Let's see what we got. It won't be a problem if I excluded myself from the suspect list since I was tied up. Sure, I think actually, yeah. An idea where Kinjo commits the crime doesn't seem possible. True. I have an alibi too, Maeda and me. We were together when the BDA happened. Okay. Mikaru, Taira, Iranami, Kurokawa. It's those 4 people. Okay. It's not me. Okay. I knew it, dude. Come on, Satsuki. Okay. Oh! A consent bullet! It's not the first time we see that, is it? Good thing I spotted it like almost immediately. Kinjo! Wait, come to think of it, I think there was someone who knows the alibis during dawn in detail. Who is it? During the investigation, Kurokawa. She clearly testified it to me that she had seen who went to the arsenal in the morning. Right, Kurokawa? Yes. What? If that's true, the culprit has already been revealed, right? You're noisy. Be quiet. Hey, Dark Circles. So, who did you... Okay, Mekaru. Okay, Boomer. Kurokawa's room was right next to the arsenal, so she heard the arsenal's door opening and closing. Of course, the arsenal is soundproofed, so she didn't hear the sounds from the inside. I don't think hearing only the sound is enough to be a direct witness testimony. No, I saw people passing by in front of my door. What? No way you've been watching the hallway all morning. Is that what you mean? Yeah, she's sick. I hope she... something tells me. Oh god, Kurokawa, please don't die. Sounds like Kaito shit right here. Or well, Kaito sounds like Kurokawa shit. You know what I mean. Anyway. But then, still, it would have been difficult to stay sane in hunger, but watching the hallway all night without sleep is... Good, I'm recording. Sometimes I'm just like, am I really recording? However, that worked nicely in reverse. The culprit couldn't have thought that there must have been someone in the midst watching the corridor. That's a great achievement, Kurokawa. So then, who passed by? Well, I don't know the time. The exact time is unknown, but it was in this order. First was Haruhiko and Satsuki. From left to right, the arsenal didn't open at this time. A little later, Satsuki went from right to left. She was alone at this time. A little later, after Iranami passed, Teruya went from left to right. A little later again, I heard the sound of the arsenal door. Then Teruya went from right to left. And after a while, Haruhiko goes from right to left. Soon after, Haruhiko and Satsuki are together again. Wait a minute! I'm sorry, but wait a minute! But I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what's left to right or right to left. Can't you tell us a little more clearly? You're the only one that doesn't understand something so simple, aren't you? Don't cut the flow for no reason. Focus and listen. Don't be like that. I'm a little confused too. I suppose it's like from the viewpoint of her door, right? From the inside of the room. I mean, that would only make sense. But let's listen to Kurokawa's story until the end and reorganize it in an easy to understand manner. Kurokawa, is that everything? Alright. That's an interesting chain of events. Indeed. As you said, you can assume that the killer has already revealed themselves. At the time of the investigation, I didn't know this because Kurokawa didn't tell me properly. But this is definitely a tremendous amount of information. Hey, I want to join the discussion too, but can't you tell us a little bit more easily? Oh, sorry, Taira. I'll organize it so it's easy to understand. But before that, there's something I want to check again. The location of the room each one of us was using. If we know this, I think we can properly organize Kurokawa's information. Well, that's certainly something I want to do and I need to move on. From what I roughly checked with each other during the investigation. Oh god, that is very stretched! Everyone remembers the structure of the corridor behind the ballroom where the rooms are listed, right? As you would know if you did a little closer examination, there was a small tag on the door of each room. Yep. So I am room 1, Kurokawa's room 8. I don't know the rest. According to the tag, the rooms are distributed in this manner. Oh, sorry guys, woke up like an hour ago. As usual, you know how it is with me. Monokuma randomly gave us a key for each room, and from what I have investigated. Aw, these are adorable! I feel awful though. Alright, so room 1 was Yuki, room 5 was Akane, room 4 was Haruhiko, room 9 was Mekaru, 8 Mikako, 12 Tsurugi, 14 Teruya, and 13 Satsuki. Got it. This is probably how each of us were located in each room. Yeah, I knew Mikako was over there. When we reconsider Kurokawa's testimony after rearranging the distribution of each room used by each person in this way, we can see that a few suspects are eliminated. Well, I mean, I didn't understand Mikako's words at all. That's your own fault. Are you going to blow up valuable discussion time for someone like you? Okay, Kinjo, back the fuck up! Kinjo, that's too far. It's important for one person to know about the case, right? I'll rearrange it and explain it to Taira. Do what you like, preferably as quickly as possible. Kinjo-kun, you still don't seem to forgive me. Taira, so to summarize Kurokawa's words simply. I actually needed this as well, so thank you, Akane. First, the fact that Kurokawa watched the hallway all morning. Taira, you heard it earlier, right? And based on what Kinjo summarized, Kurokawa's room is room 8. It's the room on the right side to the arsenal. Okay. When you go straight from the entrance of the arsenal to the corridor. Yep. As Kurokawa explained a little while ago, and what she said was from left to right and from right to left was based on the direction facing the corridor in Kurokawa's room. Okay, so it's the opposite one that I was thinking. Got it. I'll make it more easy to understand with pictures. In the order that Kurokawa saw it, Haruhiko and Satsuki were the first people that passed by in front of the door of the Doria at this time. She said there was no sign of the sound of the arsenal door opening at this time, so I think it's just the two of them passing by. A little later, she said that Satsuki passed by alone again in the opposite direction. No, I was right. That's right to left. Yeah, I was right. What the fuck? Oh god, confusion. Confusion! Shortly after this, she said that Teruya passed by. And at this time, she could hear the sound of the arsenal door opening. This probably means that Teruya went to the arsenal. After a while, the sound of the arsenal door opening was heard again, and then Teruya passed to the opposite direction. Soon after, Haruhiko passed by the same direction again. After this, Haruhiko and Satsuki went from left to right again. Yes, see, I was right! That's left to right. And at this time, the door to the arsenal was open. Someone went into the arsenal. After that, there was no movement for a while, and after a little time passed, Satsuki passed by with the sound of the arsenal door opening. Oh. These are all the movements Kurokawa saw and heard during the morning. So yeah, I think that's pretty conclusive, honestly. But why? After this, well, she heard the ruckus of the arsenal door next, but that was probably the sounds of me trying to open the door. Teruya, who passed by, heard the sounds I made. And I opened the door with Teruya's help during this time. That's the summary of what Kurokawa heard and saw, roughly like this. Do you understand? Wow, when Maeda could explain it to me, I understood it all at once. Thanks. Really? But wait, if we look from the current events on each step... Yeah, there's one suspicious person. Do you see it clearly? I can guarantee 100% that what Kurokawa heard and saw was everything that happened at dawn, but with the information obtained till now has resulted in one influential suspect in this case. That person is... Satsuki Iranami. Wait, no? Wait, Teruya, right. Makes sense. Although, if you look at it, like, the last two movements are pretty good influential in this. Let's think about it. Both of them went into the arsenal and then only Satsuki left? And afterwards the door was locked. I think I'm a couple of steps ahead in this case, but let's just clear the charges as soon as the trial began. Okay, so it's Teruya, got it. Makes sense. The game doesn't want me to determine things ahead of time, but let's go. Yeah, that also explains his behavior. Teruya, it's the only one who fits to be the main suspect of this case. Huh? Me? Haruhiko was the victim, so he couldn't help it. So the fact that Satsuki was close to Haruhiko makes me understand why she was there. But why did Teruya move around like that so early in the morning? Oh, that was what was it again? Right, I was investigating, yeah. Everyone was in a panic, so I wanted to find clues to get out for you, even for a little bit. Just a few hours ago, you were trying to pick two victims. The guy who was despairing and doing investigation was thinking of all these things. Doesn't that sound a little weird? That's all there is to it. The way fixed my mind. People can change their mind easily, you know. Even if it's true that you did an investigation, if you think about it, based on Kurokawa's testimony, you were only in the arsenal. What kind of investigation did you do in the arsenal? Oh, I never went into the arsenal. Tori, can please stop the pretense and explain properly? The pretense, yeah. What the hell did you do in the arsenal? I never went into the arsenal! Teruya? Why does it have to be only me? I did nothing wrong! If you look at it, Satsuki also went around at dawn. Why am I only suspicious? Yeah, I'm the culprit. Are you still saying that? I told you to be quiet. Certainly, Uranami is well under enough suspicion. However, she said she didn't know the identity of the letter, nor did she know about Haru's hand. So that's it then. You're just gonna take her off the list just because she doesn't know. That's a long shot. I didn't know anything about a letter or the right hand either. Don't be mistaken, Teruya. You've now said that Uranami is the culprit and you don't know about these clues. While Uranami claims to be the culprit but she doesn't recognize these clues, are entirely different matters. Then what about Maeda? When I saw him this morning, he was trying to get in the arsenal, so Maeda is also suspicious. That just happened. Yes, I won't deny that Maeda is a suspect as you claim. He had been in and out of the arsenal the previous day and even this morning. He had a strange idea of going to the arsenal again. But this and that is a separate matter. As a result of Maeda failing to enter the arsenal this morning. There was no testimony of Kurokawa witnessing in the morning, so this is not suitable for committing a crime. Oh, well, anyways, I don't know about that. Teruya, fess up. What the fuck do you know about this case? What did you do to my boy Haru? Do I have to crack some knuckles and call my boy Knuckles? I'm exactly trying to protect him, but relying only on Dark Circles' testimony. Oh no, I'm not exactly trying to, okay. I'm not exactly trying to protect him, but relying only on Dark Circles' testimony has a slightly loose time frame. I'm going to ignore it. Do not make me go nuts and move on already. I know that. It's about the structure of the ballroom, right? The structure? Think about it. Ah, stretched! Even if Kurokawa watched the hallway all night, it's all about looking outside the room and hearing the arsenal door. But if you look at the structure of the ballroom, you can easily enter the arsenal without passing by Kurokawa's door. Yeah, if you come from the other side. Not even that, you just, well, yeah, if you are on the side of Kurokawa, you need to do that, but if you aren't, that means that basically, like, all the alibis are fucking gone. I like how quickly Teruya's alleged alibi in the non-stop debate is completely crushed. Oh yeah, Maeda and I both have an alibi because we were together when the BDA happened. Everybody already forgot what Kinji did with fucking Kanata. Let's not talk about chapter 3. Because we were all at the ballroom for a week. I think everyone should know, but the arsenal is structured around the dance hall at 360 degrees. In other words, if you go back to the other side, you can enter the arsenal without being noticed by Kurokawa. Moreover, in the case of Maeda, Kurokawa does not stand out, even if he does not use this method and goes straight into the arsenal from his own room. Since it was possible, English. Since it was in the opposite side to Kurokawa's room in the first place. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You knew that too. See, Maeda is the culprit. Okay, Teruya, you're going a little too far, buddy. But there's something you shouldn't overlook. Even if you use some method to enter the arsenal without showing your appearance to Kurokawa, there's still the sound of the door opening and closing that can only be heard by Kurokawa. Huh? But in Mikako-chan's testimony, the sound of the arsenal opening and closing was always heard before and after someone passed her door. That's right. After all, the person who walked in and out of the arsenal at dawn, I can't think of anything other than these 3 people who showed up in the testimony. Haruhiko, Satsuki, and Teruya. That's all lies! So Teruya, you went into the arsenal and I want to hear your reason to make sure. If you're really innocent, there's no reason to be in panic, right? Then, I'm really innocent. Really, I just went to the arsenal I just went in for a minute. I don't think there will be an end if this goes on like this. What is Teruya so afraid of? I'm not sure. It doesn't want to say anything because, well, no, I'm not certain, but I'll have to show more convincing evidence that he has no choice but to speak with his own words. Come to think of it, there seems to be one suspicious thing about Teruya in the investigation. What was it? It was when I was investigating something in the arsenal. Let's recall that moment. Spot selection. Sure, I'll read the tutorial. Oh, wait, right. I keep forgetting about this! Someone's gonna make a compilation. It's just a spot selection, okay. Okay, I know exactly what this is, though. It's the corner gun. I love you, kitchen gun! Korerayo. The corner gun, yep. Someone's gonna make a compilation of me just completely forgetting that the tutorial is not translated. At least after chapter 2, I think, for certain things. Also, this is a banger theme. Wait for it. Hell yeah. Come to think of it, Teruya, didn't you say something strange to me when I was investigating? What? Something strange? I don't know. I found a gun that was dropped in the corner, and when I checked it to investigate, suddenly you came and told me not to touch it because it will blow up. What do you mean, Maeda? Tell us in more detail. There was a gun in the corner of the arsenal that was hard to see. I tried to investigate why it was in a corner like that. Suddenly Teruya, who was nearby, ran up and told me not to touch it because it would blow up if I shot. Oh, I see the correlation! The hand! That explains it! So, is it like an explosive round weapon? Suddenly Teruya, who was nearby, ran up and told me not to touch it because it would blow up if I shot. Maybe he thought I was going to use the gun. If you shoot it will blow up? What are you talking about? No, before answering that question, how do you know about that? Maeda, the gun, did you properly investigate it? Huh? I did examine it roughly, but it was a normal gun with nothing special. I thought it was equipped with a bomb or something because I thought it was going to explode. Probably, it's not like that. Hey, Monokuma. Did you call me? I was enjoying this. What's up? I require you to submit evidence. Bring the gun Maeda mentioned. What? Why am I being ordered? Submit evidence? Is that possible? It is part of the debate on the class trial. There's no problem by the rules. You, the judge, have no right to deny it. That's correct! There's no profit to reject it. Besides, if it's part of the discussion, what's the point? Gee, I really don't like that attitude. How can you be so cheeky? Shut up and get it already. Actually, I thought this was going to happen, and I brought it from the beginning. Now, here you go. Sorry guys, again, my nose is just a mess today. How is it? This is it. It's a bullet. Oh, I like that CG! Yo, that's sick! Bullet? It was loaded? It's not a simple bullet. It's a bullet for shotguns and medium-sized rifles. Bullets that do not meet the standard were forcibly loaded to this gun. If you pull the trigger with one of these, a bullet that doesn't fit into the magazine, it enters the chamber and blocks the muzzle, and of course, no bullet shell comes out. The pressure from the gunpowder has disappeared from where it's supposed to go. Instead, goes spreading all over the gun itself. It will end up being shattered. Oh, just like the other one! Wait a minute, but then why did Teruya-kun know about this? Why? I see now what you did in the arsenal. Watari-kun, did you change the bullets on purpose? For what reason? The gun in that state. If you hold it with a human hand and fire it, your hand will never be safe. When I listened to those words just now, I see a very similar wound I remember in my mind. Yes, the source is clear. Haruhiko's right hand. I understand now. Haruhiko was hit by the explosion of the pistol that Kinjo was holding right now. The evidence was also in the arsenal. The proof is the shattered gun. Yep. Oh, it's all lining up, dude. Yeah, that's right. It was in the arsenal. The fragments of a gun filled with blood, which appeared to have been burst from the inside. Yeah, I saw it too. Haruhiko fired the gun wrongly loaded, just like this gun, and the gun he was holding exploded, and his hand ended up being ruptured. Then Otori-kun did this to Kamashikawa-kun. Wait a minute. I'm sure this gun is the one I touched, but I don't know about the other destroy gun. Oh, you admitted it. The fact that he touched the gun? No. Of course, there are two guns with misloaded bullets. It's a little weird, but I'm certain, Teruya, you've definitely done something. Is that really it? I think if we pry a little more, you'll end up confessing something. Don't treat people as criminal without solid evidence. Even if I put my hands on the gun, it can't be proof that I'm a killer. So I don't know anything. Give me the proof. Evidence! It can't be denied that Teruya is the most powerful suspect right now. But is there any more solid evidence? If we keep discussing, we might see something we haven't considered before. Oh yeah, bullet scan. I forgot how to do it! Is the tutorial gonna be translated? Okay, thank God. Oh, thank God! X to scan. Okay, that's triangle, I think, on my controller. Yes, I'm using a PlayStation 4 controller. I know, so high tech. I think I'm pretty sure I said this before. X to scan, maintain press while scanning the yellow words. Okay, there's only one true scan bullet. Scan the wrong one, you won't be able to record it. And if I recall correctly, you don't lose influence with the right scan bullet. Dude, this is such a banger though. These remixes kill it, dude. I don't know anything. Alright, sure, Teruya. Sure thing, buddy. Stop lying and tell the truth. Okay. Deliberately loaded the gun wrongly so that the bullets would explode. Yeah. Doesn't mean I'm the culprit, right? Okay, sure. The killer loaded the bullets on purpose. I'm certain of this. Okay. That one thing. Okay. You knew the gun was to explode. What more evidence do you want to see? Okay. Oh! No, come on! I wanted that! Dang it! I know exactly what he did! I know it! He wrote the note! God damn it! It is certain that Teruya went into the arsenal at dawn and secretly manipulated a gun. Is that really all that is? I know what to do, but now I have to skip the entire conversation. Dang it! Why was it so hard? Alright, let's go. It's around here. There we go, gimme! Gimme, gimme! Okay, yeah, that's really all there is. Yeah! I'm smart! SMRT, I mean SMART. Come on! Get fucked, Teruya. What the fuck? Oh my god, I just realized something. I was gonna say I'm no expert at math, but I actually am an expert at math. That is not a... Okay, I'll take the extra points, I guess. That's it, the paper and pen! What? After listening to Tahira's words, I thought about it. As soon as I fired that bullet, I realized something. I'm pretty sure Teruya wanted to kill Haru. He planned it. But if he ended up doing it is another matter. At the beginning of the trial, do you guys remember the letter that you said when you were blaming Satsuki? I've been thinking how weird it is all this time. How did the culprit write this letter? We should have lost all of our belongings at the same time we were in the ballroom. Hearing that, yeah, how did... Oh! Yes, exactly as Maeda says. Perhaps the night before the murder, there was someone who secretly handed out a piece of paper. And that had been secretly showing a paper to ask someone to choose two victims. It's obvious at this point that Teruya clearly said that at the time. The extra paper and pen were not removed from his clothes. That means Teruya is the only one of us who has a paper and pen in their belongings. You don't joke around. You could have accidentally found another piece of paper and wrote in it. Oh, is that so? Should we check it then? Monokuma, bring that letter. I knew that would happen, so I brought it in advance. Here. Now, without that guy making a commotion, let's read it. This must be. It's the same paper Teruya had. Then Otori-kun was the one who sent that letter to Kumashikawa-kun's room. Wait a minute, you're forcing me! I handed out a bunch of papers to you guys. Soon after that, when Kinjo made a fuss, he might have gotten one into mass confusion. If it's only paper, it might be possible. But what about your side? Teruya said it with his own words, there's only one pen. No matter how much paper you had, you cannot write a letter without a pen. The pen was also in the confusion. Oh, then that means you don't have the pen right now because you said you only have one. If we look into your belongings and the party clothes you wore, you won't have any complaints, right? That's not allowed! Why not? Is there something we shouldn't see? Teruya's looking mighty fucking sus! My man was going to kill Haru. If he did or not, it's up to debate, but it's between him and Satsuki at this point. I'm pretty sure it's still Satsuki. Pretty sure she was telling the truth and we just completely overlooked it due to impossibilities. In fact, the fact that we are uncovering how those wounds happened and the letter just solidifies that Satsuki could have very well killed it, because Teruya, for all accounts and for all intents and purposes, did not seem to shoot him. Yeah, you got caught red-handed. Get fucked. It's decided then. You can't refute it anymore. He wrote a letter by calling out Haruhiko and misloading a bullet to let his hand be ruptured. All of this. That's what you did, Teruya. Really? You, Hatari-kun? Why? Why? Why did you do that? Why did you kill Kumashikawa-kun? I'm sorry. All you said was right. After all, you couldn't stand the hunger too. What else could someone do otherwise? Actually, there was a reason that I was aiming at Haruhiko, and there was a reason for when we fought that each day. It was all because of hunger. Atari-kun. So what? Were you hoping for sympathy? Either way, you planned the murder and executed it. No, I have nothing to say. I don't want to make more excuses and dishonor Haruhiko anymore. I'm going to die. I'm going to die anyways. Wait, there's one thing I'm curious about. Why did you go to the arsenal before the victim? Work with the gun, write a letter to call him, then go back again to the arsenal. My plan was to originally summon Haruhiko and then see him go to the arsenal, and I would go with him. As if it had nothing to do with a criminal. Haruhiko and I were supposed to fight, and then provoke him and letting him shoot me with the gun I prepared. Once that happens, his hand would fly away without knowing anything, and so he would die. In the past, I followed my papa to study guns in America, and I decided to commit a crime by using the knowledge I gained at the time. I am so disappointed in this boy. I am actually so disappointed in this boy. I really liked him. Teruya. So I went back to my room and watched to see Haru coming out, but I was too tired, and I fell asleep until morning came. In the end, I don't know the reason why Haru broke his hand, but in any case, it was my fault. The fact that I killed Haruhiko doesn't change. That was a difficult answer to even predict. I'm glad you're such a stupid fool. No, this is not the end. This cannot be the end. I refuse to believe that. Because we're not talking about the fucking bullet wound in his chest? Come on. Danganronpa never leaves a stone unturned when it comes to a class trial. You're not gonna fool me. In a way, Kurokawa, who was watching the corridor all day morning, I think that was a good thing. Thanks to that, my crime was discovered. Teruya. The discussion so far has ended with the conclusion that Teruya is the culprit? Seems like a long shot, I think. There's still a lot of unsolved questions. Wait a minute! I've been listening all this time. Something is wrong with this. Teruya is not the culprit. Satsuki-chan, what are you talking about? Otori-kun just admitted it. I mean, the culprit is me! God damn it! I believe her, honestly, but I want to know why and how. Are you still saying that? I told you to shut up. Wait, is Teruya really the culprit? Huh? Even Mikako-chan? If I'm right, Teruya is not the culprit. There's still an unsolved mystery. What are you guys talking about? I'm the culprit, aren't I? I'm almost 90% certain that Teruya is the culprit, but it's still a little early to end the trial. I agree that there's an unsolved mystery left. If we try to vote without anyone speaking up like this, I would have tried to do it, but actually, this is the most important part of the case right now. Huh? What's this all of a sudden? Wasn't the trial ending like this? That's right. If you think about it carefully, there are still a lot of parts that cannot be explained on the contents of the discussion. Yep. Mainly the fucking bullet wound on the chest. I'd like to hear what Kurokawa thinks Teruya is not the culprit. You aren't careful enough for it, even for Kinjo. What? Nothing. She just shot fire at Kinjo? Jesus Christ. Kurokawa coming with the silent flames, y'all. Anyway, if you listen to the explanation, you'll know right away. Alright, let's see what you got. Thankfully, the scan bullets are pretty easy. Yeah, gunshots. Yeah, it's the gunshot chest wound. Or the wood plank. Or the flash and smoke grenades. Sorry. Why do you think Teruya isn't the culprit? Okay. Teruya passed the door to my room. He sent a letter to Haruhiko. Yes, we know that. Afterwards, he went inside to the arsenal for his next plan. Got it. That is the explanation so far. Yes, that is true. After that, Teruya passed the door to my room again. There was no movement until the morning after. But there were. Even if Teruya did plot something, even if Haruhiko's hand exploded, the direct cause of death is a gunshot wound. True, Teruya didn't mention that he used the gun himself. Okay. Teruya, who came out of the arsenal before Haruhiko, could not kill. Oh, yes. See, guys, this is what having coffee in the morning does to a motherfucker. Why only 25%? I guess that means accuracy, but like, whatever. Whatever, game. I don't need those points. My self-esteem is low enough as it is. The wood plank. Are you referring to this, Kurokawa? That's right, Maeda. Oh, she's smiling! Smiling Kurokawa must be protected. I mean the broken wood plank that fell near the arsenal door? Yeah, according to Maeda, he opened the arsenal door in the morning with Teruya's help. You're not going to say just because they opened the door together he's not the culprit, are you? That's not it. Think about it. After Teruya entered and left the arsenal in the morning, Haruhiko entered afterwards. Until this moment, the door to the arsenal was open. Then, when was the door blocked with the wood planks? Well, when was it? It is for a fact that Kabashikawa couldn't open the door and went in. Doesn't that mean that the door was blocked after that? That is true, but according to Dark Circle's testimony, Teruya Otori did not even enter the arsenal after doing his little scheme. In other words, Teruya wasn't the one who blocked the door with the wood plank. It's only natural. When I tried to open the door with my Eden this morning, I was embarrassed to know that the arsenal, which had only been opened, was not opening. As I said before, you must pass by Kurokawa's room. Even if you don't, you can head to the arsenal door. After that, the door to the arsenal was opened one more time. At that time, Teruya finished his plan. I'll be right back, guys, because I completely forgot to refill my water bottle, and I need some water right now for my voice. So yeah, give me just a second. Alright, I'm back and I have a full bottle of water. Let's get the show on the road once again. That's impossible. Since Haruhiko was the last one to enter, the arsenal door has been only opened once. If Teruya went... Oh man. I think these little typos is actually pretty fun, honestly. Like, I know people like sometimes complain about typos, but I find them funny. I know they're not meant to be there, and Zeph did an amazing job with his translation, but, you know, to err is only human, you know? That's how it went, right? Yeah. If Teruya went in and out of the arsenal, I should have heard the sound twice. Well, for starters, the wood plank was used to clasp the door, I guess. If you do something like this from the inside, won't you be able to come out? Will you be able to come out? That's true. Even if you put a plank by some trick from outside, there wasn't just one plank. You know what I'm talking about, right, Maeda? The grenades, right? But it wasn't just one plank. Yes, I saw it clearly. That thing that fell with the plank near the door. At the same time, it fell to the ground as soon as the plank was crushed and made a loud noise. That thing was the grenade! koredayo. Right, the objects that were separated from the plank. You mean the flash and smoke grenades, right? Flash and smoke grenades? Ah, it's those things that were near the door. Yes, when Teruya and I first opened the door, we heard a shattering sound from the inside, and immediately afterwards a tremendous amount of light and noise hit us. And then after a few moments, when we opened our eyes, the arsenal was filled with smoke. After pulling out the plank from the handle, the door was open and the plank fell because of the effort we did. That's right. Now you see, it's impossible to block the door like that from the outside. What? Then are you saying Otori-kun is not the culprit? Wait a moment, but it was me who wrote the letter and had a gun ready to explode. It was the reason Haru saw the gun and then it exploded on his hand. I told you a little while ago. It is true that Haruhika's right hand was ruptured, but the cause of death was the gunshot wound. Teruya, you only prepared the gun, but you didn't shoot Haruhika, did you? That's, no. Hold it, Teruya had an obvious murder intent. Now it's a contradiction to say that he isn't the culprit. What's wrong, Mr. Psycho Cop? Using forceful logic in that way doesn't seem like it would reach an answer like this. Ooh, Kinjo's being backed into a corner for the first time. My man doesn't know the answer. Dark Circles is right. I don't think Teruya Otori is the killer either. Ooh, Kurokawa just completely shut down Kinjo's logic with her own facts and logic. Then who is the culprit? You're saying it's impossible for Teruya to block a door. However, no one else can do it. That's not true. That's not true. Come on, guys, dude. Okay. I don't want it to be her, but all signs point to her, dude. She was the last one to leave, and I'm pretty sure the one who blocked... Oh, it just hit me. The one who blocked the arsenal was Haru himself, and that's why there's a lot of bloodstains everywhere. That's the biggest mystery in this case. So what you were all saying is, in short, it's an impossible crime. It's not! Well, I guess it's a good place to live the midpoint of the trial. Yeah, exactly. Suspended. We're blazing through this one. It's not even been an hour yet, and I have like a bit of some cuts. Okay, well, let's save. I do have to say, it's looking increasingly more likely that it's Satsuki. I'm pretty sure that confession was real, but if it is, I'm gonna be very sad. I just hope it's wrong, but if it isn't her, who is it then? Because nobody else can even come close to doing that, given the order of events that happened during the night. No, it has to be her. Oh god. We'll see what happened. Alright, let's go. An impossible crime? What does that mean? What does that mean? It's literally what it means. The incident happened, but no one in this state is capable of causing the incident itself. It can't be. I can affirm there's no such thing as an impossible crime in this world. I agree with this. There is no unsolved problem in this world. When a result has happened, it means that there was a series of processes. In this case, how do you explain it? To assert that this was an impossible crime, you gave up on this case. There is a secret that has not been yet solved, where your thoughts don't reach to the end. But if neither Kinjo-kun and Mikaru, who always knew the critical points of this case, were confused enough to say that, it's already a mystery that can't be solved? Shut up. Do I look like I'm panicking right now? That little sweat drop on your face kind of says yes. That's your panic state, Kinjo. Sorry, but it looks like that. It's been a few days now, but these days Kinjo-kun is not Kinjo at all. Just like Maeda-kun before coming to the ballroom. You're being very annoying, damn criminal. Kinjo, why are you saying that? It's not really like you to get emotional so easily. Ignore it. Now we're on a trial. This is a life or death war. If you take care of someone who loses their temper during a war, you'll have to go through them. There's no other option. This person or that person. I'm done. Again, this case isn't an unsolved crime. Let's organize the information. Kinjo. First, even if we put on hold Teruya's claim that the crime is impossible, it will be necessary to look at the case from a different point of view. A different point of view? In retrospect, all of the reasoning we've done so far is based on Kurokawa's testimony. Let's step back here for a moment. Has anyone ever seen Kurokawa spying on the hallway? Oh, okay. Okay, the back and forth, I like it. I'm a fan, I will admit it. We didn't get a lot of this in Danganronpa 1, and really, Danganronpa 2 was kind of like this with Nagito, but not to this extent. The back and forth is insane. Let's go. And I guess okay, Danganronpa 1, Kyoko, Byaku, and Makoto led the trials. Danganronpa 2, Hajime led the trials most of the time. Nagito sent some back and forth in the early game. And in the mid game, he helped a little. But like, this type of back and forth is really good to see. What do you mean? In short, Kurokawa's testimony is not too blind. But are Kurokawa's words 100% true? She would be hungry in extreme circumstances. Would she bear with that in mind? Lastly, there could be a possibility that Kurokawa was the culprit. When that idea comes up, she could be playing all of us. Kinjo. Hey, did you go crazy? Did you really flip around that fast? That's stuff that comes out from your mouth. What? I'm talking about possibilities. At the time of Tamori's murder, during Kinjo's testimony, you put a thread on our private room doors to prove our alibis. Did she do the same? That was evidence that no one else. I would have flipped out if she did the same, but no. That's a good card, honestly. That's a good card to play, Kurokawa. Good job. That was evidence that no one else knew other than Kinjo. It's the same story. It's different from that. What I've been doing at that time is what I've been doing before the incident, and this is just simply what you've seen or heard in her testimony. It is meaningless to command the truth or falsehood in a testimony. Did you forget what you said? Dude, Kinjo is getting shot! Kurokawa loaded a shotgun before this class trial, and it's pointed at Kinjo, and it just keeps firing and firing. Holy fuck! Dude, you're getting absolutely wrecked. It's utterly disappointing, Tsurugi Kinjo. Even though I was thinking you were just a crazy guy, I admitted your reasoning skills, but now, you've stopped thinking with your head. But since the situation is quite desperate, isn't Kinjo trying to do everything he can? Kurokawa, is there no way to prove it? Your testimony, I mean. I don't know why I have to do this. Why not ask Satsuki or Teruya? Huh? You've heard about my testimony. Teruya admitted that he entered the arsenal a while ago. What about you, Satsuki? If I was out at dawn, well, like Kurokawa said, since I'm the killer above top, of course I wandered around at dawn. Even if we ignore the backstory, Dark Circles' testimony is reliable in its own right now. If I were you, I would have known that right away without having to do this cumbersome work. You're noisy. As long as your reasoning hits a wall, it's a way that to do what you can. You admitted with your own words that your reasoning was blocked now. That's funny. Be quiet, Mekaru. You're on the same level as we are right now. Do you think you're in a position to mock others right now? I think she knows who did it. Does she, though? That's enough! Holy shit! She just silenced both of them! Oh my god! How come Kurokawa can have this powerful voice in a class trial? Everyone, don't get worked up. Since this is a difficult case, we need to regain stability more than usual. So let's calm down and look back again from the beginning. There must be something we missed. I'm telling you all, I'm 30,000 steps ahead of you, and it's not impossible. Come on. You guys are overlooking the possibility that Satsuki might be telling the truth. I'm sorry. Sorry, as Maeda says, I was getting too excited. I apologize. Then, Teruya Tori is not the culprit. I'm sure up to this point. Even if that's true, we'll have to double check. Teruya, are you really sure you sent a letter to Haruhiko and loaded the bullets? Well, yes. I'll say, I still can't believe I'm not the culprit. I didn't really read the Monokuma file properly, so in a hurry, I saw the right hand ruptured, so I guess I was the one who did it. That probably isn't a lie. Teruya really thought he was the killer. He said a little while ago, as if confessing, he told us he was going to be executed. Just like Akane when Tamari died. Yeah, I remember that. It's not likely, but something came to my head. Can I speak? Go ahead. An accomplice, or in fact there were 2 culprits. How about it? Dismissed. Anyways, all opinions from your brain like that or what? I didn't even expect it. Rubbish opinions like that. A story not worth considering. Anything like that, just crumple it, take it out of your brain, and throw it into the trash. That's unfair! I said that because I was just thinking my own way. If Teruya had an accomplice, there would have been a person who objected at the time of him being accused as the culprit. Even if not, Teruya would have confessed everything and made a mistake in the end. But what if there was a real criminal and pointed out Tori-kun as the culprit? Everyone except the real culprit dies, right? Can't you think about a development like the culprit used the Tori-kun? Oh, you're using your head, but that wouldn't be it. Even if a culprit secretly works behind Teruya Otori to cover up his sins, it is impossible to work with him because of the limited circumstances of the arsenal. And even if there was an accomplice, if we believe using Kurokawa's testimony, the only remaining suspect was Uranami, so she can't be. Huh? Wait a minute. I have a thought that something passed like a flash in my head just now. Is Yuki about to get big-brained? My god. No, I am the real culprit. You're relentless. Why are you claiming to be the killer? Even after that, you don't know anything about this case. The more you claim to be the culprit, the more you claim your innocence. You still don't notice? Let's organize our thoughts. First, Teruya is not the culprit. He didn't shoot. What Teruya did was call Haru by using a ladder and make a trap that explodes the gun by misloading a bullet. And the person who killed Haruhiko himself. In other words, what the real culprit did, what Teruya didn't do. That is, grabbing a gun to kill Haruhiko, messed up the interior of the arsenal, and finally locked the door with the plank and the grenades. Teruya doesn't know what the real culprit did. If we think like that, conversely, does the culprit know what Teruya did? No, the real culprit wouldn't know what Teruya did. Thank you! Oh my god! Yuki is big-braining this shit, finally! Oh my lord. I'm sorry, I've been yelling at my microphone for the past, let me see, I'll take away 10 minutes. I've been yelling at my mic for the past hour. These guys have small-brained this far. This case is not that difficult once Kurokawa's testimony is put into perspective. You just need to think a little. Come on. I do understand that it had to be penned out a little, and we did need to understand what Teruya did. But like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, maybe I just big-brained. I have kind of been thinking about what happened in chapter 4 ever since I stopped recording the investigation. So I may had figured out. I didn't know this shit about Otori, but like it made me realize that as soon as Kurokawa said that, like her testimony, it made sense. Anyway, as Makara said earlier, what Teruya did was unknown to anyone since he was in the closed space of the arsenal, unless the culprit directly sees it, or Teruya tells him in advance. And who is the killer? Wait, guys, there's something I want to check for a moment. Maeda? Before Kurokawa watched during the morning, from that point on, what if someone was hiding inside the arsenal? Could there be such a case? No, I don't think it would happen. Kinjo was tied up, and I saw Taira going to the room before. Mekaru? The last time she went into the empty room to the left of the dance hall, she didn't exit the room at all. When did you see this? Well, you're right. I was investigating the empty room all day long. Then there are only 2 suspects that Kurokawa has seen, and they don't know what each one have done. In other words, the real culprit doesn't know that Haruhiko received the letter, and they don't know why their hand was ruptured. But for some reason, Haruhiko was shot with a gun and killed. There's someone who could fit the conditions right now. That turned themselves at the start of the trial. I knew it, dude! Come on! They entered into the suspect view since they moved at dawn, and no one else can commit a crime at this stage. But is this person really the culprit? If so, why in the world? Yep. I'm expecting a fantastic explanation, Satsuki. All of you guys won't want to admit it, but I think I know now. The identity of the culprit. What? Maeda-kun, you know the killer? The person who satisfies all the conditions as the true culprit of this case, it can only be you, Satsuki. What? Satsuki is the killer? Hooray! You finally came to think of me as the culprit. Only Yuki understands me. I'm so glad. Satsuki, no. I don't want you to die. Wait, Maeda, look at her now. She was picked as the culprit, but she looks rather content. Do you really think Satsuki's the culprit? Think about it. The only one who can possibly do this is Satsuki. At the beginning of the trial, when Satsuki came out saying she was the culprit, we were trying to interrogate her to see if she really was. However, Satsuki had no idea of the letter that called Haruhiko in his destroyed right hand, which we thought the culprit would know. Of course. So we thought because of these reasons that she wasn't the real culprit. But take a look. The two things mentioned earlier are actually Teruya's doing, not the culprit's. Teruya didn't know that there was someone who killed Haruhiko by shooting him with a separate gun. So on the contrary, did the culprit know that Teruya sent a letter and destroyed his hand? Probably not. It would be impossible to know Teruya's actions unless he himself told them to the culprit in advance. Then the real culprit would be a person who doesn't know why the letter was sent to Haruhiko's room and his right hand exploded, even though they didn't know why his hand ended up that way. There is someone who meets these conditions. The person who confessed with their own voice that they killed Haru by shooting them, but didn't mention anything about the right hand or the letter. And that person is Satsuki.
Well, I'm not sure what you're saying because it's difficult, but anyways, that's right. It was me. I killed Haruhiko.
I think Maeda-kun's reasoning is making sense, but I don't really understand Satsuki-chan's appearance being like that. Why did you do it to this, Satsuki-chan? Why do you like it so much when you're being aimed as a killer? Kobashi Gao-kun, who was close to Satsuki-chan, with her own hands. How can you say it so lightly that you killed him? Weren't you sad? Think again, incompetent. Of course, it's possible to commit the crime, as you said. There's only that woman, but that is absolutely not the reaction of the killer. I'm not crazy. It's very normal. Actually, I don't know why Satsuki reacts like that and keeps saying that she's the culprit. However, I can't think of any other reasoning. Water moment. Stay hydrated, kids. I don't want Satsuki to die, dude. She was the light of the cast. Fuck, dude. I don't want her to go.
Maeda's words make sense. In fact, at the time, Teruya was not found to be the killer. It was enough to doubt Satsuki because of the circumstances.
See? Someone uses her brain.
Maybe as soon as the trial began, Satsuki couldn't be the culprit. We were stuck in stereotypes and we didn't think about it more thoroughly.
Satsuki, I'll check once more. Are you the culprit? Haruhiko, you killed him with a gun in your hand.
Yeah, that's right. I'm the killer.
Wait, if you're the real culprit, can you explain why you're so positive? You were like the one constantly appealed. You were like the one constantly who constantly appealed to him as the culprit.
I don't know. Just when the trial started, it became bothersome to make excuses. That's why I just confessed.
Now, if it's decided, go ahead and execute me. If you sound so refreshingly like that, it doesn't look like you're a criminal on the contrary.
I have my doubts too. In the first place, Satsuki-chan doesn't have a personality to kill. Even though that she is resolute to this point. Like Mikaru said, it would rather seem like we're choosing the wrong killer and we're gonna die together. That's not it at all. I was just telling the truth.
What do? It's hard to make sure after identifying the killer. This attitude that Satsuki has, it's a reaction that defies understanding, like Mikaru said. I didn't like this. Can I still point to Satsuki as the culprit? Everyone stop. Why are you thinking about a crime is possible? The reaction is weird. Wake up already. The crime is impossible even for Satsuki.
Why is that?
That's a great question, Kinjo. Okay. But Kinjo, based on the testimony by Kurokawa, Haruhiko, Teruya, and Satsuki entered the arsenal at dawn. Of them, Teruya was the first to come out of the arsenal, and then Haruhiko entered the arsenal. Because he was walking through the corridor with Satsuki just before this point. If they entered the arsenal together, then that means perhaps it was at this time that Haruhiko used the gun. And this is likely to be true, just by looking at the sound of the arsenal opening and Satsuki coming out alone from the corridor. Back off, Maeda. You said it with your own words just now. Satsuki kills Haruhiko and gets out of the arsenal all alone. Ah, I see, okay. Okay, yeah, this is the part where I was expecting Kinjo's reasoning to return. And he makes a good point. Satsuki could not have made the locker room mystery. But you know who could have? Fucking Haru. she came out. How did she lock the door then? It's a clue that you guys found and checked yourselves, right? It is impossible to block the door from the outside in that way. If so, the killer was in the arsenal at least until Maya and Teruya opened the door. However, Satsuki came out of the arsenal before this. Does this sound like she could be still a killer? And if you look at Satsuki's reaction, that girl used the weapon, but it seems she doesn't know that the arsenal was blocked. So now what? Is Satsuki a ninja now?
Huh? How was that again? Oh wait, I know. Maybe you don't know. But what if you used the plank of wood as a barricade? It seems you were asleep during the trial.
How about it? Is there anyone who still thinks Satsuki's the culprit?
After listening to Kinjo, it seems that Satsuki is really not the culprit. In the end, the problem lies with the arsenal door being blocked. If we solve this, there should be no problem even if Satsuki is the culprit. Even if you think about it again, it is impossible to put a wood plank inside the arsenal from the outside with the grenades in it. There's no time frame at all.
I think the current prerequisites were all wrong. The public here probably won't solve this mystery. I'd rather go back from the very beginning and reorganize this case instead.
Well, that sounds nice and all, but I hate it when the trial is taking too long, don't you? It's not a warning, but you better wrap up things soon.
The alibis of Dawn, Kurokawa's testimony, Teruya's behavior, the wood plank that blocked the arsenal, and Satsuki's incomprehensible reactions. Maybe. Have we missed something else? Why does Satsuki have that attitude in the first place? Why does Satsuki have that yeah. Even Kinjo seems to be confused, but our reasoning is at the very core right now. I think Kinjo is right. Blocking the door to Satsuki is a big problem. My mind is getting more and more complicated. Right now, this is the most important aspect of the case. The arsenal door, the wood plank, the grenades. How to block the door from the outside.
Wait, you don't need to go back to the start. If you think about it a little, it should become clear.
It's an utter waste of time.
Wait a minute, what's the reason for the flash grenade and the smoke screen? At the moment the door opens, if the criminal hidden inside escapes through the light and smoke, the trick to block the arsenal from the inside is solved. But I'm afraid not. This was already mentioned. It's ridiculous when you think about Dark Circle's testimony at the very beginning. It's been seen that Teruya Tori and Satsuki Aranami, both of them came out of the arsenal.
I'm pretty sure the only possible answer for this is Haru himself blocked the arsenal door. There's no other way. There is no other way. Which means that Satsuki shot him, fled the scene immediately after doing so, and then Haru used the little time he had left to block the door. It has to be that. I don't see any other way for that to happen. Any other way.
The last one who came out, it was Satsuki, I'm sure. But opening the door and coming out the arsenal means that the door was not blocked until that last moment.
Well, in a word, doesn't that mean that the body of Haruhiko was left alone in the arsenal until just before Maeda and I opened the door together in the morning?
What is that? That doesn't make sense. It wasn't that the body was alive and blocked the door alone. Oh no. This is starting to sound creepy somehow.
Huh? Tyra, wait a second, what did you just say?
Huh? That it started to get creepy.
No, not that, before that.
The body moved and blocked the door? Like a zombie from a movie? Well, of course it won't. Such health science is
unscientific. It's like that bear in front of our eyes. It's unscientific.
Why? What the heck did you just say? I don't even know. I'm a cutting edge science product.
The body moved and blocked the door? Of course, a reality like that does not exist. But as Teruya said earlier, it was Haru alone who remained in the arsenal until the end. No way! Could it be? The person who blocked the door to the arsenal, that person's identity is